Angela would have to take me with her, and she would cut out of school or be smoking in the schoolyard, and then I would go home. Of course, I was 6 years younger than her, and I would tell my mother, Angela's smoking.
And listen, not everybody's going to agree with my decision. I can give a fuck less. You're in that position, it's you who got to face it, then you do what you need to do.
Little Changolini, he gets to the jail and
steal cars from Maryland and take them to Delaware to a chop shop.
The inside prison in Thailand, as well as what Victor Malarek, the reporter, did to get me out of there.
And I sat down and thought about it for the longest time. Okay, but once I made up my mind, it was about survival. I need to take care of my kids and take care of my family. And when a guy's not being loyal to you, how could you be loyal to him?
Welcome to Chattin With Staxx. What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Chattin With Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to talk about El Chapo killing his son by accident. So I heard this story. It's crazy. Make sure you guys hit the like button. So if you guys don't know, so this is the story that I heard, right? El Chapo's son was watching a fight in Las Vegas, and his father was locked up, I believe, and I'm not sure at the time. But so the story I heard is his son went back to Mexico, didn't talk to his father, and his son had security with him, but his son didn't tell his father that he's going back to Mexico. And he was driving the same kind of car. What's up, sis? What's up, Robert? He was driving the same kind of car that El Chapo's enemy was driving, right? And so his father didn't know that he was back in the town. I think it was Culiacan. And so he was back in the town, and El Chapo's, like, his top hitman seen this car, but it was really El Chapo's son. And they sprayed up the car and they killed his son by accident. And so this was El Chapo's, like, top hitman, and they made this big mistake. Like, what do they do now, Insane when I heard that story. What's good? AZ Ruction, right? What's good, man? Yo, make sure you guys go check out this dude's channel. He got great content. He be pushing along, man. He's a great dude. What's good, Dana? How you doing? So there's some other stuff I want to talk about. So today is Frankie Yale's birthday, if you guys didn't know. Frankie Yale was a mobster. He was out of Brooklyn. He was rolling with Torrio and his crew and Capone. And today's his birthday. Chapo's probably pissed, right? Hell yeah. Can you imagine that? Like, what does he do, man? His top hitman killed his own son. Like, it's crazy. Definitely, bro. When I'm out that way, we're going to get up, man. I'll be out that way soon. Couple months, bro. What's up, Will? How you doing, man? Happy birthday to Frankie Yale. What's good, Yankees for life? How you doing, man? So this is Frankie Yale and his wife. He had 3 kids when he got killed. He was 35 years old when he got killed. It was in 1928 on July 1st. Everybody knows this picture. It's the famous scene. crashed his car into a porch. And this was his funeral. Insane. Like, look at all them people. So obviously he had a big presence in the neighborhood, as you can see. I believe that's his wife. Tons of people, onlookers and all that. Craziness. There's a little El Chapo was a ghost. El Chapo's sitting in Florence, Colorado, like, what the fuck did I do to deserve this shit? Shout out to Jimmy Calandra and the Bath Avenue crew, man. Dealing with this bad toothache. That sucks, man. So I got this little documentary about shout out to Cuzzo, man. There's a lot of people I got to shout out. There's too many of them to name. Way too many. But I try to do my best, man. Shout out to Liz Coppola. And shout out to everybody involved with that whole movement. Shout out to Ciro. Shout out to Joey Catalano. Shout out to Dave Icavetti. Shout out to there's so many of them. So many people. Tony Welch from Street Smarts, Code of the Streets, Omerta Clothing, Touring the Block, Cuzzo, Yankees for Life, all of them, man. All the people I mess with. I appreciate every single one of you. So I'm gonna play this little thing on Frankie Yale.
After the death of Chicago Irish strongman Dion O'Banion, Frankie Yale said to his gang, "Boys, if they ever get me, give me a send-off like that." Frankie Yale was the quintessential gangster. He palled around with Al Capone when they were both members of the violent New York street gang known as the 5 Points Gang. Born in Brooklyn in 1885, Frankie Yale, as an adult, would rise to the top of the New York underworld. He joined the 5 Points Gang in the late 1890s, where his reputation as a cold-blooded killer became infamous. In 1908, he aligned himself with Johnny Torrio, extorting money from fresh-off-the-boat Italian immigrants under the threat of kidnappings, bombings, and murder. In
Murder
1918,
Inc., man.
Yale took over the Unioni Siciliani, the powerful fraternal organization which had turned crime cartel at the direction of its former president, the Blackhander Ignazio Saetti, also
Lupo the
known
Wolf.
as Lupo the Wolf. After assuming power with the Union, Yale began taking murder contracts to supplement his income, a forerunner, if you will, to Murder Incorporated. When asked by a policeman what he did for a living, Yale snarled, "I'm an undertaker." Yale became business partners with Johnny Torrio of a bar they called the Harvard Inn. He operated this dive throughout his career, even after Torrio left New York for Chicago to help his uncle, Big Jim Colosimo, run his rackets in the Windy City. It was estimated by police that over 24 men were murdered on the premises between 1918 and 1928, many by the hand of Frankie Yale.
This dude was
Yale
a madman.
was
He
not
was
only
like
a
the Mayo
bootlegger
of his
and a
day.
rum runner, he also diversified.
He was the Roy DeMayo of his day, the Gemini Lounge, right? College, Big Jim's place was the Gemini Lounge, basically.
And began manufacturing cigars. He and his
Snorky,
forced
man.
retail stores to sell his cheap tobacco, which was considered so bad that an idiom of the day, "It's a Frankie Yale," was used to refer to something, anything, that was cheap and of low quality. Due to his friendship with Capone, Yale was his chief supplier of bonded whiskey during Prohibition.
Yo, I got something about Roy DeMeo after this video. It's really good. And it's brought to you just for me. It's exclusive. So I'm going to play it right after this video. And you haven't seen it anywhere except for Chattin with Staxx. Make sure you remember that.
Capone needed a favor, needed someone whacked, and didn't want it traced back to him, he would call up his old pal Frankie Yale to do the job. Yale would breeze into Chicago, make the hit, and be back home in time for supper. In fact, many crime historians believe that it was Frankie Yale, along with Capone gunners Albert Anselmi and John Scalise, who shot Irish mobster Dion O'Banion in his flower shop on November 10, 1924. Everything in Frankie Yale's world was cruising along just fine until he and Capone had a falling out. Yale refused to endorse one of Capone's candidates for the office of president of the Chicago branch of the Unione Siciliani. Capone coveted this office because of the power it exuded. He himself was unable to join the fraternity due to the fact that he was a Neapolitan and not a Sicilian.
You see that? He wasn't even a Sicilian. So really, like, what was the deal with that? Like, we're going to get into that later. But just remember that.
But if he could name the man who was to have the power,
thank you,
he
man.
could control the man. As time went on, Yale objected to other candidates Capone
appreciate you, Will.
As their friendship degenerated, liquor shipments Capone ordered from Yale began to be hijacked before they left the state of New York. Capone suspected Yale was behind it. In order to make his case, Capone sent James F. D'Amato to spy on Yale. D'Amato sent word to Capone that his suspicions were correct, but he didn't live long enough to report to Scarface directly. Yale had D'Amato killed. Capone then sent Yale an unsigned wire stating, "Someday you'll get an answer to D'Amato." That answer came on July 1st, 1927. Yale had received a phone call which caused him to bolt out of the door of the speakeasy in which he was frolicking with friends. Dressed in a soft gray fedora, pinstripes, and spats, he sped down 44th Street in Brooklyn when he was suddenly overtaken by a large touring car bristling with gunmen. They opened up on Yale with everything they had, including a Thompson machine gun. Yale was cut in half, and his car crashed wildly, slamming into a house. A block away, the hit team dumped their guns, including the Thompson machine gun. It was traced back to a gun supplier in Chicago who was known to supply guns for Capone.
Oh, you see?
This was the
all
first
comes
time a
back.
machine gun had been used in New York, and Scarface wanted the New Yorkers to know who had taken out Yale. Just as he had requested a few years earlier, his send-off was extravagant. Yale's silver coffin cost around $12,000, and 28 trucks of flowers followed him to the cemetery. On the last truck, a giant wreath bore the ominous inscription, "We'll see them, kid."
It's crazy. Shout out to Bloodletters and Badman for that. So let me get to the thing that I was going to show you guys, the exclusiveness. Well, you guys can go to my channel and see it. I just made it public. Thank you, Yankees for life. I appreciate you, man. Look, I took all these pictures. Got Roy DeMayo. Turned them. I made them all come alive, man. I got Frank Cali, Adolfo Bruno, Paul Castellano. That's pretty cool, right? What's up, Ronald? How you doing, man? What's up, Robert? The Adolfo one's pretty cool. I've a whole bunch of new shows coming up. I've been working really hard on a lot of stuff, and I hope you guys like the content I'm going to be bringing you. I got a lot of interviews coming. Interview you had Chicago. Yeah. Yeah, that interview's up, man. It's like way down the list of my interviews, but that interview's up. There's I think it's either 3 or 4 parts. The one with Frank Calabrese, it's up there. 12,000 for the coffin. Now it's like 12,000 for the lining in the coffin, right? What is it? 10, 12,000 just for a coffin nowadays? It's like 10 grand, right? And that was a silver coffin. Crazy quality. Definitely. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, I think he would have been a great boss. See, I like the bosses like Fat Tony, people like that. They're like hard asses, but it takes a while to get to know them type shit, you know? And they're like real stubborn hard asses. Those are the type of dudes that get the job done, you know? It's been cold out here lately, like ridiculously cold. It's been like below zero. It's crazy. You know, I want to give a shout out to Stevie Bullets and all my people out there in Chicago. I want to give a shout out to Mike McCullum. Twins testified against El Chapo, Chicago. Yeah, I heard there was indictments recently. A whole bunch of people got busted, and I heard there was a bunch of people arrested, and they got transferred over to the U.S. So who knows what's gonna happen? See all kinds of stuff. Shout out to Kent Street TV. Shout out to omertaclothing.com. Shout out to my boy Steve, Real Mob Radio. Go check him out. Go check out realmobradio.com. Remember, if you guys have anything you want to send the show, you could send it to P.O. Box 1054, Bristol, Connecticut 06011. And go check out mobswag.com. And if anyone wants to get an interview or, you know, you want me on your show, you can hit me up at staxbill1979 at Gmail. I appreciate all you guys rocking out with me tonight. I got a lot more stuff to bring you. I've been really working and grinding, and I appreciate all of you. I'm just chilling, man. Sean Penn and El Chapo. Remember when that happened? Dude, he fell for it with the actors and all that. And they traced his phone back. I remember when that happened. Dude's crazy to be able to tunnel out of prison and get out. Like, crazy to think of the logistics that go into something like that. It's insane. Shout out to Cash too, man. Yo, I appreciate you all. I'm gonna make this a short one tonight, but I will definitely be back with a longer one tomorrow, and I got a lot more stuff to bring you. I appreciate you. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And I've been working hard. I got a lot of stuff to bring you guys. And just stay tuned, man. It's gonna happen. What's up? What's up, Stone Sailor? I'm out, man. Make sure you guys have a good night. Shout out to Angel Gotti too, man. I appreciate Angel. Peace out, everybody. Have a great night. See you.